Power, politics, and money. All three have always had a place here on Beacon Hill. Now the high-profile corruption trial of former House Speaker Sal DiMasi is setting the stage for an up-close look at how business is done under this dome.
It's good for everybody involved to see how this process works, get it out from behind closed doors, and let the public look at it.
It's unclear if the public will like what it sees. After all, DiMasi isn't the first or the second, but the third Massachusetts House Speaker in a row to be indicted by federal investigators.
This has been happening in Boston for years.
It's highly corrupt. We've just gotten away with so much for so long that it's kind of the norm. Very, very corrupt.
It's an accepted practice, and people think they can get away with it, and that's the way it is.
First, there was Charles Flaherty, the House Speaker from 1991 to 1996. He stepped down, then accepted a plea bargain over income tax violations. Then there was Thomas Finneran. He served as House Speaker from 1996 to 2004. Finneran pleaded guilty to lying under oath in a civil suit over redistricting. Neither received jail time. Then, of course, there's Sal DiMasi, Speaker from 2004 to 2009. Prosecutors now accuse him of trading his influence on Beacon Hill for tens of thousands in kickbacks from state contracts for a software company. Sure, each case is different, but three speakers in a row leaving office in scandal?
What does this say about Massachusetts politics?
Well, it certainly says that we need to get our house in order.
Brad Bailey is an attorney in Boston and a former federal prosecutor.
To have three successive in a row get in trouble like this, it means that something is wrong in the political culture in this state.
How does this happen?
Well, I think there's too much power that's concentrated at the top. And when you have that much power, you think you can do almost anything, good things and bad things.
George Bachrach is a former state senator. He says the way Beacon Hill is set up, those at the top wield all the power.
The flow of legislation, the staffing patterns for members' offices, the creature comforts that people have, whether your career will rise or fall, whether you'll make more money as a chairman because all the chair people are selected by the Speaker and the Senate President with added income. That's a lot of power.
If you look at recent corruption cases, the money involved isn't as much as you might think. Remember former Boston City Councilor Chuck Turner? He was convicted and sentenced to 3 years for accepting a bribe of just $1,000. And disgraced Senator Diane Wilkerson. She was sentenced for taking $23,000 in bribes in the same FBI sting that caught Turner. DiMasi is accused of taking nearly $60,000. Is it enough to jeopardize the stature and position?
Well, some people would say it's just the arrogance, and it's the lack of oversight and the ability to do whatever you want.
Powerful people dealing with other powerful people on the outside in industry and the corporate world start to see others making a lot of money and they're not in government, and they're tempted. And when they're tempted, they ought to stop and get out, not cross the line.
Of course, corruption is not unique to Massachusetts politics, and some say what happens here can't even compare to other states.
Well, I don't think we've quite caught up with Illinois yet. There may be a few other states that are ahead of us in line, but it's not good.
So what's the solution? Some say they're not sure there is one for this kind of a problem.
More checks and balances, more airing out of the debate, making sure that it's an open, transparent process as best we can.
It is a system that ought to be probably changed, made more democratic, made more accountable, as opposed to the kind of top-down power structure that we currently have.
While the cases involving each House Speaker are very different, taken together, they no doubt shape public perception, and not always for the better. In Boston, Charmin Sacchetti, Fox 25 News.